I'm joined by a political and communication expert, Mr. Bushebi. Karibu, Mr. Bushebi.
Asante sana.
All right, let's go straight into it. The Deputy President said he's not too clever, neither is he a fool. And there's something he wakes up early in the morning and looks and he sees darkness. And he can see someone plotting against the Mount Kenya region, and the children of Mount Kenya region are being used to divide that region. And of course, the president comes and says that some people are prey against those that wanatutabiria giza. This is not the first time we have seen such a script, but what do you make of this? Because we're not yet at 2-year mark. Is the Deputy President referring to his boss about Mount Kenya division?
Of course, when the Deputy President says that all eyes shift to his boss, President William Ruto, because he has, for quite a long time, there was a political script that was playing right in front of Kenyans, insinuating that there's a rift between President William Ruto and his Deputy Rigathi Gachagua. And that rift has been playing all through. So when a Deputy President comes out to say such things as that is seeing darkness ahead because somebody is using the Mount Kenya, the children of Mount Kenya, some of the children of Mount Kenya to bring divisions in Mount Kenya. Of course, he's referring to President William Ruto. That's my take. Otherwise, who else would be behind dividing Mount Kenya according to DP Gachagua? DP Gachagua has even gone ahead to ask for forgiveness from former President Uhuru Kenyatta and says someone misled us to fight against our own son Uhuru Kenyatta. So who is that someone? That someone most definitely is talking about William Ruto. And the issue is we don't know whether this is a real political rift or it's a script, because you never trust President William Ruto when it comes to political scripts.
Yes.
During this time, there was supposed to be a hot debate about Finance Bill 2024.
Yes.
And perhaps maybe they didn't want it to go the same way Finance Bill 2023 went, and every Kenyan was talking about high taxation, and there was too much court cases, too many court cases. Maybe they didn't want Finance Bill 2024 to be discussed just the same way Finance Bill 2023 was, or Act 2023 was discussed. And so it could be a coy to divert the attention of Kenyans from Finance Bill to, just keep Kenyans dancing to their political script. So that's why I take this whole matter with a pinch of salt. Yes. Okay.
Still on the same, Mr. Bushebi, I'm curious on your thoughts on the President's Madaraka Day speech. Especially when he spoke about the time for ethnic politics being over and personality politics around personality being over. Your thoughts, particularly on that part?
President is replying to his deputy's remarks when, it's funny, Mesh, when other communities try to come together and you see the same leaders coming out to say this is the way forward. They call it, for example, Luya people. When Luya people come together, everyone claps like this is the way to go. Luya nation is now growing. But it's funny when you see Mount Kenya trying to, come together and then it turns out to be, tribal politics. You're trying to divide, to remove Mount Kenya from the rest of the community. So I see a lot of hypocrisy in this narrative. Assuming that it is real, there's a lot of hypocrisy. You cannot have other communities coming. First of all, we are a tribal nation, whether you like it or not. Hakuna vile tunaweza kudanganyana kwamba that we are not tribal. We are tribal, but we can use our tribal backgrounds for good or for evil. So it depends with how Kenya will use the tribal backgrounds, whether for good or for evil. So communities coming together is not a bad thing. Because when communities come together, they say, these are our issues, and we would like, you know, people we like the leaders to address our issues. The funny thing is that when Mount Kenya comes together, it's called tribal politics. When other communities come together, it's
unity.
called unity.
Yes.
You see, that's where the hypocrisy comes in. And when you listen to the president, perhaps maybe they know something more than we do when they call that tribal, you know, politics. Maybe they know something, they know the end game, and that's why they call it tribal politics. But if you another thing is, if you want to know how tribalistic even Kenya Kwanza government is, you need to look at Kenya Gazette versus William Ruto. If you look at Kenya Gazette, I know most Kenyans don't read Kenya Gazette, and they don't read Gazette notices. Look at the number of appointments and the tribes that are getting more appointments in government and jobs and stuff like that. You find that Kalenjin community and Kikuyu community are leading. So when you talk about tribal politics and governance, who leads? The question remains, who is the leader in all these things? So it's almost hypocritical, because you cannot be talking about some individuals meeting somewhere and you say that's tribal politics. When it comes to appointments, and when you read Kenya Gazette and Gazette notices, you're like, wait a minute. There's one tribe that is dominating all this. So who is tribalistic here? You know? One is doing it through Kenya Gazette, another one is doing... I mean, you even fail to understand what our leaders are thinking. Number 3 is the fact that we should ask ourselves this question. If Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua manages to bring Uhuru Kenyatta into play, manages to get all the Mount Kenya leaders together, and the Mount Kenya community together. And remember, Mount Kenya is not just in the mountain.
Yes.
They are all over the country and outside the country. So if he manages to bring them all together, let's ask ourselves this question: who benefits from that unity? Number 2, if Mount Kenya remains divided, who benefits from the division? My answer would be the division benefits President William Ruto more than the unity of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Because he empowering Gachagua to a level where he's the kingpin of the mountain, and is able to command the mountain and the votes of the mountain, is a threat to William Ruto in 2027. And look at the personalities of President William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. They share a lot of stuff. One is that they are both well trained in combative politics. Yeah, Gachagua is a go-getter. Yes. Gachagua is a truthful man. Yes. You know, he will tell you, this is, I don't like it, take it or leave it. This is my point. And then you look at William Ruto, he's the same kind of a person. He'll tell you, I don't like it, take it or leave it. So when you bring these two leaders together, that marriage cannot stand.
Yes.
So that unity between Ruto and Gachagua, it's just a matter of time that we'll see it breaking, unless something happens, because we also know President William Ruto is a master of politics. But this whole thing, at the end of it all, I can look at it from the perspective of timing. The timing of the whole division politics. It's aimed at diverting the attention of Kenyans from the Finance Bill 2024. Yes. That is exactly what it is doing, and they have managed. By the way, nobody's talking about the finance, nobody's talking about high taxation. It's like people gave up and they're just waiting for that document. Number 2, maybe people believe hata wakiongea hakuna mtu atasikia, Ruto will still go ahead and do whatever he wants. And maybe they're just waiting for 2027. But the whole point is to it's diversionary tactic that one should not be ignored. You might find that perhaps maybe there's no difference between President William Ruto and Deputy Rigathi Gachagua.
Yes.
You might find, but I won't be shocked to find out that there's no difference between the two.
All right, Mr. Bushebi, just a follow-up question. Was President Ruto during the Madaraka Day celebration addressing DP Gachagua by making remarks about ethnic politics?
Of course he was. I mean, that's why I told you that this is a script, a political script, and I really suspect that it was written by President William Ruto himself. So I have a number of hypotheses on this one. Number one, it could be that indeed there's a rift.
Yes.
Number two, it could be a script for diversionary tactics. From Finance Bill 2024.
Yes.
So either way, you will see the script playing in public. And President William Ruto coming out to even contradict his deputy when the deputy said that MPs, members of parliament, remember he has accused Oscar Sudi and he has accused Farouk Kibet of trying to sabotage him and his powers as the deputy president and his position in the mountain, because he claims they are moving around and giving people a lot of money. And so he went, by the way, it was so funny because Gachagua went to the backyard, the bedroom of President William Ruto.
Yes.
When President William Ruto was coming from US, Gachagua was in his bedroom and he was there, giving lectures and telling these members of parliament, stay in your constituency. Don't move around and jeopardize other elected members in other constituencies. Then the president comes out and say, Tanga nimesema move around. Don't do your work in your constituency, yes, but you must also be moving around. So he contradicts the deputy president. That already tells you that there's a conversation going on and it's playing in. Unajua siasa, vitu hamwambiani kwa siri. If something was said in public, it must be responded to in public. Lakini kama kuna vitu mliongea kwa siri, then hiyo mnaweza malizania kwa siri. But this one, because Gachagua said it in public, President William Ruto had to respond. Then one other mistake, and I think Gachagua, perhaps I'm assuming there's a real drift. What Gachagua did was to attack the heart of William Ruto. And the heart of William Ruto is Oscar Sudi. In fact, if you want to know what William Ruto is thinking, listen to Oscar Sudi.
Yes.
Oscar Sudi is the mouthpiece of President William Ruto. Just the same way, if you want to know what Raila Odinga is thinking, listen to Junaid Mohammed.
Yes.
So Junaid Mohammed is what Oscar Sudi is to William Ruto. And if you attack Oscar Sudi, in short, you are attacking the president. So DP went straight for William Ruto through Oscar Sudi. And he went for Farouk Kibet. People who are really close to the president. And so by doing that, he's trying to send a message. And if it's true that there's a rift, then Gachagua has made up his mind. That, you know what, I don't care what... In fact, he said it. He said, so be it. If I lose this deputy presidency seat, so be it. I don't care. It seems like if it's true, then he's really going for the neck of President William Ruto.
Yes.
And by him attacking Sudi, he's attacking William Ruto directly. Bachana na Farouk si politician. Farouk ni mtu ya mikakati. Lakini mkarabati ni mouthpiece ya William Ruto. So when you attack Sudi, you're attacking William Ruto. And that's why William Ruto had to respond to protect Oscar Sudi. And so we really don't know what's going on. We can only create perspectives out of what we are seeing in public, but we don't know exactly what is going on behind the curtains. But I'll still never give up on the fact that this is just diversionary tactics through politics to divert people from Finance Bill 2024. But I stand to be proved wrong because I know it could be true that there's a serious rift between them. But hawataka. Gachagua na Ruto hawataka pamoja. Because of one, their personalities.
Yes.
And because Gachagua wasn't able to get the Mount Kenya kingpinship. And he tried to become the kingpin of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
But there was a problem because there was a living kingpin